All right. Boom. What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man. And like always, I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, just remember it's the thoughts in our head. We either got to change them, do something physical, and just keep moving because that's all we can do. Right. And today, but though I'm super excited. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I am sitting with Dr. Lisa Magary. She is an amazing superwoman. Okay.
What?
So we got to clarify, right, Doc? So you're
Yes,
not a physician. I can't say that word. So we'll
right.
stick with doctor. But in
Well, I have a
technically, go ahead. Let
doctorate.
us know what it actually is, and then
Okay, so I have a clinical doctorate in nursing. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I am Dr. Lisa Magary, but I'm Dr. Lisa Magary, nurse practitioner. So that was just to clarify because some people who are physicians and related to physicians get upset about that. And I respect what doctors do and the work they put in. So I always want to clarify and make sure people understand that I am a nurse practitioner, not a physician.
that's right. But you're forever my doctor anyway. So no, absolutely, absolutely. No,
Sure,
it's
thank you.
good. Thanks for the clarification. I'm the macro level reader, right? So I'll just read the big
Yeah.
highlights. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then our experience, right? So I just taking the listeners or the viewers, just our experience. It was great. I met you at BNI, which again is a business networking international group. Bunch of business owners, like-minded people get there and become friends, and then throw business to each other. Is the main macro concept, right? And then I've always been interested in like the health aspect of what are things that we can do logically to improve our health and then like increase longevity. Because I don't want to die early. I want to like long time, for me. So that was really the interest of speaking with you. And I was doing blood work at the time, and I'm
Yeah.
not happy with like I'm just not happy with the systemized structure of like our healthcare system where it's like, hey, once a year you're okay to get blood work, and if you have insurance, we'll cover it. If not, it's gonna be an arm and a leg. But like, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was looking for somebody that was interested in helping or listening or just kind of dialing in, the blood work that I was working with, because I think it's an important measure of like being a human
How
being,
you
right?
doing? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where we started, right? And then sitting down with, sitting the first time, and then you listening to your story, and then hearing everything about how awesome you are and the things that you've already done, like ice bath, breath work, running, fill in the blank, keep going. So it was just an amazing connection. So I'm super excited that you're here, and then we're going to share all this valuable information to people that are listening. Doc,
Yeah.
so let's
Well,
take it away. Let's, give me a little background. Like, how did it all start? Where do you want to start? I'd love to
yeah.
know growing up, even too, as you were little, what were your interests? And then how did that matriculate into where you are now?
Yeah. So, wow, we're gonna go way back. I can do that. So
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I either wanted to be a doctor or a teacher, which is pretty funny. Because I don't know if that's a normal girl thing or not. But then in high school, I did what's called an executive internship as an aerospace engineer.
Yeah.
Now, I've been told my whole life that I'm smart. I'm not talented, but I'm smart, whatever that means. That was my parents' kind of thing. They're boomers and they
So that
kind
was
of
your
put.
influence. That was part of your influence, your internal
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
so I was smart, right? So I was smart. So I did an internship in aerospace engineering, and it's going to be hard to believe, but I was an introvert in high school. I was 250 pounds, about 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds heavier than I am now, and I was a
Wow.
total introvert. And now you can't shut me up, and I weigh about 150. So anyway, as a
You got
kid
more
though, that's
energy,
what I
is
thought I
what it
wanted to
is.
do because I was smart, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the guidance counselors do the stuff with like, this is the things you'd be good at.
Right.
Well, now I'm such a peopler. I can't imagine if I was an engineer, they would hate me because I would never shut up, right?
Right.
But I got to calculus 3 and hit a wall. I just
Okay.
couldn't get calculus 3. So after flunking out of calculus 3 twice, I decided I had to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. And UF told me kindly that I could leave
Oh, wow.
because my GPA was not what it should have been. So I get in as a freshman to UF. I'm on top of the world. I think I know everything. I know nothing. So
Wait,
I
hold on,
flunked out
Doc,
of
for a
UF the
second. For a
first.
second. it I think we've all been there, right? Where we think we know everything and we only know just a
Yeah.
little bit, right? We're like, no, we can figure this out. We'll do it anyway.
Oh
And it's
God,
like, no,
yeah.
just listen. But yeah,
The
I
more
get
you
you.
think you know, the less you know.
Right. One more time.
Yeah.
Wait, one more
So
time.
then no, I'm just telling you the rest of the story.
No, no, no.
So
I was gonna. What did you
am
say?
I
What was
lock?
the,
Am
what
I
was that?
blocking?
What was that tagline? You said something like the
I
more
don't
you
know.
know.
Now I can't remember. I can't.
I don't know. The more you know, the less
Oh
you.
yeah. The no, the more you think you know, the less you know.
Ah, yeah,
Like if
exactly. The
you
more
think
you,
you know everything, you
yeah,
really don't know
yeah.
anything.
You
It's
haven't
when
you
you're
haven't raised
humble.
that level of awareness. Yeah, right.
Yeah, when you're humble, you're like, I know nothing,
Right.
zero. When you're, 18, 19 years old, you think you know everything.
You ain't nobody telling me nothing.
No, because you already know. Yeah. So then I ended up at Santa Fe College in Gainesville, and I went to school to be a respiratory therapist. So I did that for several years, ran medical equipment companies, and I was like the local expert for pediatric ventilators, and kind of I'm one of those people that kind of like finds a niche, and then I really do well in it.
Mm.
But I like when I was in respiratory school, the guy that sat next to me was like, if you're not in medical school in 5 years, I'm going to find you and kill you. He's like, you are way too smart to be here, which made my little smart heart happy. But I was like, no, this is fine. Like, this is good.
Right. Where is he
I was,
now? He's
I
not in
had
jail,
my
is he?
son then, my first, what?
The guy that said that to you, he's not in jail now, is he?
No, he passed away
Okay.
before I went to he passed away before
Oh,
I went to nursery school. So
damn.
when I
Okay.
graduated, I called his wife, who
Yeah.
was a doll. I was like, just so you know, Tim would be so happy. Tell him like
Cool.
when you pray to him, tell him that he inspired me to
He
do more.
inspired you, right? There was a good influencer. I love it.
Oh yeah, because he was older. Like I was 20 or 21 when I went to the
Mm.
program, and he was in his 40s. This was his second career,
Oh, so yeah,
and I would always
fantastic.
help him and coach him and yeah, tutor him. And he was just like, how do you know how to do these things? I'm like, I don't know. That's how my brain works. Like one
Right.
time and I'm good.
Right.
So I did respiratory therapy for a long time, but I just knew I was meant to do more. And so I went back to school to be a nurse and then a nurse practitioner. I actually never worked as a nurse because I wanted to be a nurse practitioner. That's why I went to nursing school, right? That was
Okay,
like a
wait,
step.
Doc, real quick for the people that don't know the difference. What is the difference between just being like a nurse and a nurse practitioner?
Okay, so a nurse takes orders from a nurse practitioner. A
Okay.
nurse takes orders from doctors. So they do what they order. They're so smart. I love nurses. My sister's a nurse. But she's in school to be a practitioner too. But nurses are like the backbone of healthcare. I mean, literally, like they do all the things.
Yeah, they
Um,
do. They
and then
do.
a nurse practitioner is kind of like the next level, more education. Like in Florida, it's nice because after so much experience, you can become autonomous, which means you don't need any like supervision and you can, have a DEA and write scripts and all that stuff. So,
Right, right, right.
but I had
Eh,
been practicing autonomously basically since I graduated because I worked in a federally qualified health center
Okay.
and I was in a clinic totally by myself in the middle of nowhere, and I would see like 30 patients a day, and I would just show up and they knew I would see. Like the problem is I'm nice, so they knew I would see them, so they
Yeah.
wouldn't even make appointments. They would just pile into the waiting room, and my poor like girl at the desk, she would be like, yeah, I know, she'll see you, because she when I first started, she'd come back and say, oh, so and so is here, will you see them? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or I'd be like, tell them to come back at 1 or tell them to come at
Yeah, yeah,
12:45.
yeah.
I'm like, they just stopped doing that. They're like, Lisa's gonna see me, so we'll just pile into the waiting room. So I would get there at 7:30 and I would have 6 full exam rooms.
Damn.
This is what made me decide I wasn't meant to do regular medicine, because how are you going to do good medicine and teach people about nutrition and health and sleep and all the things that are really important when you have 7 minutes?
Right, right, right. Per person. Right.
You
Can,
can't.
can I also say that I like the amount of hours that you probably put into obviously leading to that and then experiencing that in real life probably has made you, right? It has definitely helped grow you to
Oh
the
yeah.
person that you are in terms of
Yes.
like
So
knowing
so
all these things.
oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, my mom was diabetic and super obese my whole life. She died at 52
Mm.
from complications of diabetes, had a stroke at 47, lost her feet. She was
Damn.
she, because she had no health care. She had no one that cared about her that could guide her, right? So that was like, I've got to make healthcare affordable for people and have access so they can get what they need. So that's how I found like direct primary care, and that's why I'm passionate about what I do, because people pay me a low monthly fee, but I have the time. I mean, you've been to my clinic.
Right.
You know that I'll spend time with patients.
Yeah. 100%. And it's a great experience actually. I always love going to the doctors now.
I know most people don't, but it's fun. I mean, it's a good place. Like we're pretty chill there.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Doc, so let me actually take you through, I guess, the concept, or not the concept, but I guess like how I vocalized the underlying message of NCUID, and then we can figure out some of these examples that you're getting already, and just kind of reinforce the fact that these are things that we're in certain situations. So here's the big picture, right? For NCUID, or at least the message that I'd like to share with people. And that is that life is just an accumulation of situations and decisions made over time. Right.
Right.
And then it's these situations that we make decisions on that create an outcome. And then these
Uh-huh.
outcomes, basically is another situation, which again repeats itself in terms of like making the decision. So the question is like, how do we get to these decision making points, and how do we improve on the situations that we get outcomes we're not happy with? And
Right.
so the thought is influence, influence creates thought, or vice versa. Thought then drives the emotion, and emotion then really drives the decision making, the action that we make or the inaction. And then that
Right.
creates the outcome. Right. And
Right.
then there's moments where it's like, okay, when we're 18 and we're like, you can't tell us anything, and we keep making the same decision, but then we keep figuring out, it's like, okay, maybe there is something here that I need to
Right.
listen
This is
to.
not a smart thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, that's really the concept. And I feel like you can take that and put it in any vertical or any situation and really figure out like, yeah, this was, like when you even said about the older gentleman, he says like, hey, if you don't become, what do you say, a doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's like, I'm going to come back, and so again, an influence. And then the thought that you were, I'm super smart, but then you had to also say what, not creative. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah. Not. So I grew up, you're the smart one, not the talented one.
Right, which is crazy. Which is like it's kind of like a backward great job, It's like, but whatever. So it's coming. It's like being conscious of these moments, and then underlying thinking about like how does that affect me, throughout
Oh
my
yeah.
life, in terms of like
Yeah.
what we're doing. So little things
Yeah.
like that I picked up during the story. So I think positive, great influence was a guy saying like, "Yo, you're so super smart," which keeps reinforcing the fact that you are, and then you
Yeah.
are, because then you do, and then you provide, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so that's sort of the idea, and I think there are a lot of really great examples there. What was one thing, I guess? Okay, so actually, let's continue, and because I'd like to know, were there any hard situations or things that you went through in terms of that period? Obviously, you said your mom died early as well. Like,
Yeah.
what was that sort of transition piece, and where were you in school, and then how did you deal with that? And then is it, how does that affect you in terms of your decision making, maybe in those situations, and then moving forward?
Yeah. So she died when I was 27.
Mm,
Um, I got my nurse practitioner when I was 34, I think.
okay.
But my motivation was like, people need good care. Like they need somebody, that can take care of them and make healthcare affordable and stuff like that. So kind of my why was like, I don't want other people to be in the situation my mom was in, right? I was a respiratory therapist. She lived with me, but she had nothing. So I had to find her like free healthcare, and I had to figure out how to pay for her medicines because, she was diabetic. She was on 11 medicines. She'd had a stroke and all these other things. So, you know, that's always playing in the back of my mind. Like people need somebody,
Yeah.
even if it's not the way I believe, I can help them anyway. Right. And so, and then I was like dealing with all these sick patients at this federally qualified health center in the middle of nowhere by myself. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I can help them, like teach them about nutrition, right? Because I got to the end of medicine early with my patients because I would write drugs and they wouldn't get better. They'd get worse. And I'd write more drugs and they wouldn't get better, and they'd have more side effects and they get worse. And I'm like, this is how I got to be ice baths and paleo and all these nutrition things, because I'm like, I'm at the end of healthcare. Like I am not helping people. I'm
Mm,
actually, I used to tell patients all the time, and you know what? I will write meds forever and I will do what patients need. Right. But I would say to them, I'm like, you have a problem this big, and I'm putting a band-aid this big on it, and then I'm going to add another band-aid, and we still have the underlying problem. Like, let's figure this out. I went to, then I got onto the like rabbit hole of like food allergies and food intolerances
mm.
because inflammation,
Makes
and
sense.
like just
Logics.
learned. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just learned more and more and more. And I'm like, well, anxiety is attached to your gut. And I mean, this is stuff that's out now and everybody talks about, but this is in 2012.
Mm.
And it's so funny because my 20-year-old daughter is like, Mom, the stuff you taught me in early middle school is what's popular on TikTok now. She's like, oh yeah, I've known about blue blocking glasses and grounding and
Yeah.
vitamin D since I was tiny. Like my mom never shut up about it. And so there was some crazy TikTok about, I don't know, vitamin D. My niece and nephew have heard it forever. They're like
Yeah.
26 and 24.
Yeah.
So I was funny. I sent it to them. I'm like, does it sound like your aunt, like pushing
Right.
the vitamin D?
Right.
Um,
You're the
because
Huberman podcast before the Huberman Lab
right, I was like, I
podcast.
knew things, I read
Yeah,
things, I
yeah,
read so much. Like
yeah.
I followed this neurosurgeon who turned, I don't know what, like, yeah. Anyway, quantum health guy. His name is Jack Cruz, and I followed him like in 2011, 2012, way
Yeah.
before. Like
Yeah,
he
right.
was cutting edge of this stuff,
Right,
you
right.
know? And so, and then I had a spinal cord injury 2 years ago. I think related to stress. I was doing CrossFit. I don't blame the CrossFit gym. It's not CrossFit's fault. I had stenosis and way too much stress, and I was trying to do too much. And so I've been on a healing journey since then. I ended up paralyzed from the chest down. I only had
That's
my
crazy.
left arm that worked, and I'm right-handed. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to like rebuild my whole life. I was getting divorced and bought out of my business and just totally lost.
And
And
wait a
so
minute. Did you also still have to do laundry?
I did. I lived by
Doc, that's
myself.
crazy.
I was on a walker and I had to do freaking laundry. It was
Doc.
terrible.
All right, so let me ask you. So okay, because you're describing, you're telling me, right? I want to go back though, like in those between 27 and then business partner, divorce, and accident.
Yeah, 49. I was 49
Okay.
when it happened.
Mentally though, like how are you doing in these moments from that age to that position? Like, cause
Well,
that's
I
a
was on
lot.
like I was, yeah. I've always been intense and I've always been a doer and a getter doner. So I have always been very productive. My business in Gainesville was super successful. We won awards all the time. I was on top of the world. Like when the rug fell out in 2021, like
Right.
everything had been great prior to that. So
And then so
like I
even while your mom,
worked
like
and
when you
going,
were 27, taking care, like going through that situation when you lost your mom, like mentally though, are you just like, hey, that's, I love my mom, that's another thing, but we got to keep going? Like how did you work
yeah. Oh
through that
yeah.
to
Yeah. So she had been sick for 5 years by the time she passed.
okay,
Stroke, memory loss,
got it.
taking care of her. And it was, I mean, it was a lot of stress for a long time. So
And
for
you were
me,
doing that, right? You were taking care of her?
yeah. Well,
Right. So
she moved,
okay. Even then though,
I took care of her for like a year and a half. And then she moved down south with my sister.
got
And then
it.
my sister was taking care of her. But she just was not never the same after her stroke
Yeah,
when she
right.
was 47. So we had 5 years of hard, you know? And
How
so
did you
when
get through that? I guess that's what I'm trying. I wanted the
Uh,
emotional side of
I almost ended up in the mental institution. I mean, it was really,
really.
really, really hard because she had no short-term memory.
Right.
But and then she didn't want you to help her. So I would bring her meds home and I would put them all
That's
in
true.
like she had 13
Right.
medications and I'd put them in the little things and she wouldn't take them or she would take too many and I would be like, "Mom, did you take your meds?" And she would be like, "Yeah." And I would look and I'm like, "You didn't take your meds." And she's like, "Why are you always on me?" So it was very
Wow.
contentious
That's crazy.
and she was living with me and I had all the financial responsibility and it was hard. It was really hard because she wasn't helpful. She was she's like, where are you going, what are you doing? I'm like, I've lived by myself since I was 17 and I'm 27 trying to or
Damn, 10 years
26 trying to
later.
manage it, so it was
So
really
Doc,
hard.
how did you though? Like what were some of the things? You weren't doing ice baths or breath work yet, were you? At that time?
No, I stuffed down a lot back then.
You said you stuffed it down. You stuffed it down a
I
lot.
stuffed it all in. I just sucked it up and just moved on. My whole life was like that. I'm just suck it up and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't till like 2011, 2012 when I was just like seeking like something else.
Okay. And then what did you find around that time? Like when you were questioning, like, okay, there's got to be something here that can.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just never want to be like my parents. My mom died at 52. My dad died at 59.
Hmm.
He died like 10 months after her from heart disease. I just didn't want to be like them. Like I wanted to be healthy. So we were on a paleo diet at home and I was like, let's reduce inflammation. So then we're all doing ice baths,
Yeah.
and like meditation and like getting in nature and grounding and the beach and like
Yeah.
all these natural things.
You were
Just
seeking something else, right? Like you were like,
yeah.
what were you searching? Like how to relieve
I don't
stress or
even
like,
yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what I was looking for, but I
yeah.
just knew it was like how to optimize health, right? Like I'm
Ah,
like, what are the optimal, like here's your
cool.
labs, but what's optimal? Like,
Yeah.
yes, you're in the normal range, but you don't feel good. So what's wrong? Why
Yeah.
is that like so I was on mission. I mean, I can't tell you how many books I read, just
Cool.
book after book after book. And I was always overweight and I always struggled with my weight. So I was
Yeah.
always on like what's a healthy way to maintain a healthy weight, like but like when you have underlying stress like that, it's hard to maintain a healthy weight because you just have
Right,
stuff
right.
happening in the background
It's the
you never
thought,
dealt
right?
with.
Yeah, the thoughts is
100%.
so it's crazy. It's so important how the thoughts is what gets you feeling that emotion,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then that
Yeah.
emotion then does stuff
You,
inside the
yeah. So you
body.
asked how I dealt with it. Like back then, I really didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, it's kind of
Real.
incredible. Okay, so
Yeah.
you
So
slowly start, you know, going through that rabbit hole of like ice baths, breaths, and then what was that like? Did you just decide you're like, okay, well, you decided you're like, I don't want to be like my parents, and then that was a moment of decision like that you
yeah.
made, like a decision point where you're like, that's it, and then now everything follows like that goal, right, or what I want to achieve in terms of that.
Yeah. I mean, that was from the time I was 13. I knew I didn't want to be like my parents. So,
God, oh wow, wow.
but it was really when I moved away and got out of the environment when I was 17 that like I lost 100 pounds in a year.
Really reinforced it.
Yeah, like working out and trying to eat right. And I didn't
Feeling
do it all the
good,
right
right? You're
ways. I
feeling
was
great about
young. I
yourself.
was dumb. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, just you just do things the wrong way. But it got me to where I am. And then really it's like after the spinal cord injury and having to depend on the medical system, which I had never, like I was super healthy and nothing was wrong with me because I always did all the right things.
Right.
And because of I think stress and just everything going on at the time with my spinal cord injury, like I got sucked into that system. Like doctors and hospitals and rehab facilities, and I'm like, what is that? I mean, the only time I was ever in the hospital was when my kids were born, and I never stayed overnight. I was like, this is the most expensive hotel in Gainesville. I'm out. Like, as long as they're healthy and I'm healthy, like I will take care of myself. I'm
Yeah.
going,
Right. Right.
and they were always like, stay one more night. I'm like, nope, I will call you if I need anything. Like, I'm
You're
out of
like,
here.
I'm
Like,
good,
I'm not
thanks.
staying. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, exactly. I
They
mean,
didn't even give you the
it,
shampoo and conditioner in the bathroom.
yeah, like I'm good. Just write the orders. I'm out.
Yeah.
So to be stuck in the system and like all the things that happen, I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that now because it really
Right.
opened my eyes to other things. And,
Right.
when
Perspective.
I was, like gabapentin and all these medications and the pushing of the pain meds, and I never took them because I was like, I'm not in pain. I'm just numb and weak. Like
Right.
that is, I don't need to be numbed out. Like I have to be awake so I can get
Right.
better.
So I
Right.
can keep getting better, right? So my body's like doing what it needs to do. Right.
I got to
100%.
retrain. I got neuroplasticity. I got to learn how to walk again. I learn how to like use my muscles again. I have so much work to do. Like I can't be gorked out on anything. And
Yeah.
literally they would like, what's your pain? I'm like, I don't really have pain. I mean, I must have said it like 4 times a day for 5 weeks. Like
No, I
I
don't
don't
want your drugs. Get this shit away from me.
exactly. I'm like,
You sure
do you
you
have
wouldn't
an
want
IV?
you sure you don't
I'd
want
be
any
like, do you have an
morphine?
ibuprofen? And they're like, oh, well, they didn't write for ibuprofen. I'm like, can you ask for an order for
Right.
ibuprofen? Like I
Right.
kind of
Right.
have a headache and that'd be nice.
Yeah. Right. 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 Talking too much to me. Nurse.
Yeah.
Go back to the nurse
Oh, I
practitioner and
can't
ask
even,
what you need to
don't even
do.
don't even get me started on my experience. I will not speak to it. It's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah, no, it's okay. We'll say that one for another episode. So real quick, let's talk about the injury. Let's talk about
yeah.
how same thing, how you're overcoming that. What's the mental side to that? And then let's talk about your practice, a couple questions for some people. And yeah, and then we'll have to get you back again because this is great. So what happened? What happened with the injury, right? You ultimately could not walk, couldn't use most of your limbs. Like what happened there?
Yeah. So I ended up with a cervical 4 to 7 spinal cord injury incomplete.
Where's
I
that
was
at for
paralyzed
people
from the
that don't
chest
know
down.
the numbers, Doc, that aren't
Oh,
as
at the
smart
top
as
of it's
us?
like the right at the base of the neck, like right where your little hump is.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you go one above that and then all the way down for about this far,
That's where
all
it's
of
at.
that was jacked up. And so they went
Uh,
in through the front. So I have a scar on the front and put in a bunch of cages, and it's called an anterior cervical discectomy and fusion. So they
yeah.
went in and did all that work, and then I had to go to rehab and just learn how to do everything again. And like I said, I came home on a bunch of meds. I mean, I gained 30 pounds in 5 weeks because of the
Yeah.
steroids. Um, I got home and had to wean myself off. I got stem cells in my spinal column. I mean, if there's a thing you could do, I've done all of it.
Mm.
But then I got to a point like I got myself off all the like gabapentin and steroids and all the meds I was on. I got myself off of all that. And it was a battle. And I mean, we could do a 4-hour podcast on my experience, but we won't. But
No,
then
we'll have like 4 episodes. We'll do a couple more.
so then I got to a point where I was functionally well, but then, I'm selling my business. So what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I'm divorced. What do I do with the rest of that life? So I got to a point where I was really lost. I mean, I was in a really, really dark place.
Yeah.
And I use NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. I have a coach. And so she's helped me, oh my gosh, so much. So much so that my older daughter sees her, and I have friends and patients that I refer to her. But she opened my eyes to like how the mind is really like, she came to me, she's a friend of mine from Gainesville. She lives in Ecuador now, and she was watching me do like vegan and all these things on Facebook. And she's like, she reached out to me, she's like, I can help you. Like, I'm an NLP coach. You don't have to pay me for the first 3 months. I'm going to help you. I can help you get better. And she's like, we can get rid of your neuropathy with your brain. Like, you can get rid of it. And I was like, what? So that sent me on a whole nother path. So I've been with her for like 7 months. We have not gotten rid of my neuropathy, but I'm sure it's a block inside of me, which is why I'm going to go to Ecuador and do low dose mushrooms to break the block.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. We are talking a little bit about that. That's going to be such a great experience. And I think for the bot, like it's a both mental and body type of experience.
Oh, for sure. Oh, at this point, I have like the pain I experience or the feelings I experience, I think it's all neuroplastic. I think my body has learned it, and I just have to unteach it. Like, because medicine doesn't help, right?
That
When you
makes
have an acute injury.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like when you have an acute injury and it heals, the pain goes away.
Right.
But if the pain doesn't go away, that pathway stays activated.
Right.
And so your body thinks you're in pain, but you're not.
Right. Right.
So I have to rewire the brain.
And you need to rewire the brain to be like, you're not in pain.
You're fine. Like, you're okay.
Baby.
You're safe. Everything's all right. We're gonna be fine. Yada yada blah blah.
Shut up and put up. Let's go.
No, I have to be better than that, because that used to be my way.
Yeah, right. It's like the world is burning. We're still moving forward. Let's go. No, but that's great. So you're gonna go to Ecuador, and is the plan to do it a couple of days, or are you still working on the plan in terms of your experience?
We're still working on the plan. We know of one day for sure.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, it's Christmas time, so she's having a Christmas party, and like, it's just a busy time. So
yes.
But even one will be great. I mean, she's my friend. Yes. I can go anytime,
Yeah, 100%.
And whatever.
That's good. Let me get here. We got 10 minutes left, Doc. We're gonna use
what else you want to know?
No, I think it's gonna be great. What are you looking forward to, like, in terms of the experience? Are you yeah, I guess what's a couple of things that that you're looking forward, obviously, to see if you can have that connection, like that out of body experience sort of connection.
So there are some studies, or not studies, but like, I guess case studies, like anecdotal evidence of people who've done this and then had like sensation return, like positive things happen, right? Oh, yeah. And even if that doesn't happen, I'm excited, just because if there's like emotional blocks that are keeping my business from growing or keeping me from having the relationship that I want in my life, like if I have blocks, I want those taken too. Yeah, right. So I'm just going open to like whatever improvement I can have.
Yeah, and then, it's gonna be beautiful,
and then I'm like, I'm reading stuff. I'm doing A Course in Miracles, which is like a daily thing. I'm reading like quantum healing.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you. Go ahead. Top 3 books right now for people if they're listening.
Right now.
Give us top 3.
Okay, so The Way Out.
The Way Out.
That's for chronic pain.
Okay.
Oh gosh, come on, Lisa. Letting Go by David Hawkins. That is a freaking amazing one.
Okay. David Hawkins. Okay.
Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra.
Okay. One more bonus.
And then A Course in Miracles. It's the workbook for students and for teachers. And it's literally 365 days, one thing a day to reset your brain.
Cool. Okay. A Course in Miracles. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Good.
All right. Are you reading all of them right now, or are you just reading
all of them at the same time?
Oh, at the same time.
I literally have a stack of 6 books. And I'm like, whatever my brain needs, that's what I read. And then I listen in the car. I drive back and forth to Gainesville. So I also, some of the books are so good, I have them in print and on tape or on Audible. So I listen to them and read them at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm that crazy. I can't help it.
No, that's the way to do it. Reading and listening at the same time, of course, is the best way to retain, except I fall asleep. If I try to read by itself, sometimes like 3rd or 4th page, I'm like,
oh, it depends on what I'm reading, but yeah, I get it. That's why listening, I'm driving anyway. So it's like 2 hours each way. And I'm like, on the weeks that I have Naomi, it's like 6 hours in the car that week. So because I'm back and forth for being and stuff. So I have lots of time. So I'll listen over and over. And some of them I don't have. Here's my phone. Hold on. There's one. Let me give you a bonus.
Yeah,
and
bonus.
It's only available.
Book number 5. Good.
It's only, sorry, I'm sorry. This is just such a good one. I hate to, it's only on Apple Books. So
Okay.
it's not on
Exclusive
Audible.
to the Apple listeners. For
I
you
know.
Apple
I'm
listeners,
sorry. I don't
you
want
can
it to be
catch
that
this
way, but
episode on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
okay. It's called Don't Believe Everything You Think
Don't believe everything you think.
by Joseph Wynn. And the spell the last name is Nguyen, Joseph Wynn.
N G
Oh my
U
gosh.
Y E N.
This was like, if this is your beginner book, this is where you start. This
This is where
is
you
the,
start. Okay, okay.
yeah, because some of this other stuff is really deep and heavy. So I would say don't believe everything you think first, and then second, letting go. And then if you have chronic pain, is the
Letting go.
oh my gosh, what did I say was the
The
way, hold
way
on.
out.
Yeah, the way out is the chronic pain. And
Bingo.
then when you're really ready to change your brain, then you want to do the quantum
Quantum
healing
healing.
and the Course in Miracles.
That should just be an
And
everyday thing too, right?
oh, there's another one that's really good. This is
All right,
another one I'm
bonus,
listening.
bonus.
I'm so sorry, but this is so good.
Go, good.
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And he has great podcasts too. But
Yeah.
this book, oh, the guided meditation, amazing.
Okay,
And I
cool.
have like 15 more books in queue, so that's where we
All
are.
right,
Right
so
now.
we'll do that one on the next episode. Give us another 12 next time.
I get so
I'm gonna
excited.
keep up. We gotta get our Audible credits up, you know.
Yes. Well, they had some like Black Friday special. I bought like
But
5
Audible.
or 6 for like $2 each,
I
like
love it.
really good ones that I've been on my
Fantastic.
list for a while. So I was excited.
So not only are you a doctor, you know how to shop as well.
Oh yeah, I'm a bargain girl. I'm like, I'm
I
gonna
love
get
it.
some.
No,
Yeah.
me, hey, I'm on the same way. We actually were talking about that today, the last episode or the next episode, depending on when I posted. We were talking about the ghost of Christmas bankruptcy. Wait till
Oh
you hear
yeah.
that one.
I just oh, really. Who's in that with you?
Oh, just me, but I was talking about our situation. So it's a good one for sure. Make sure they tune in. All right, Doc, let's see how much we still got good amount. We got 5 minutes here. Let me ask you a question. Okay, tell us quickly about what you offer in terms of
Oh,
your
my
services.
office.
Yeah, in your
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. So I have a direct primary care practice, which is membership based. So I want people to have insurance, but I don't bill it because I would like the relationship to be between me and my patient. And it's very low entry. It's super affordable. I mean, Wilson, you
Yeah,
can talk to it.
100%. 100%. It's great. I'm on it
It's
all
like less
day.
than your cell phone bill. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously.
Yep.
And then also
Way
in my office,
less.
I have soft wave, which is for chronic pain, acute pain, erectile dysfunction, wound healing. Like it's super
What
cool.
is that, Doc?
Soft wave. So soft
No,
wave.
erectile dysfunction.
Oh yeah, well
Just
you're
kidding.
young. You wouldn't have to
No,
worry about that. But older
soft wave
folks,
for sure.
yeah, older folks, it's a real problem.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
and then I do IV therapy, so like vitamins, amino acids, nutrients, micronutrients for people that just don't absorb well, don't eat well, or just don't feel
Yeah.
well. And then I do bioidentical hormones. I do pellets, injectables, creams, and troches. So I do all that stuff. I've been doing that for years and years. And
Okay, wait,
then I
Doc, real
do
quick. What does that mean? The last couple of words, like what the pellets and stuff like that for people that don't know.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of ways. So I do bioidentical hormones. So
Okay.
the pellets are actually, they're like grains of rice that get put into your hip.
Right.
And for men, they get them every 6 months, and women get them every 3 to 4 months. And
Uh-huh.
they dissolve over time to keep you at a steady state for your hormones.
Wow. So hormone regulation.
Yeah.
You're the hormone
It's hormone
regulation
replacement.
police.
Yeah, it's hormone replacement for people
Okay.
that don't remember to do stuff on the daily. It's like
Got it.
it's like the easy stuff, right? It makes it
Got
easy
it,
for
got it.
people. And then I do injectable weight loss, tirzepatide. And I have a great story. My sister, who's had crazy blood pressure for probably 15 years, has been on it for 9 weeks and she's crazy blood pressure on 5 medications. She's now on 2 medications and keeps going low.
Fantastic.
So
Right.
what a win. I mean,
Yeah.
changing my sister's life, and it makes me super happy. So IV therapy, injectable weight loss, soft wave, hormones, primary care. I have a pharmacy on site with wholesale pricing on medications.
Yep.
I've negotiated
Incredible.
wholesale pricing for labs and radiology. And basically, I just want people to have good care that's affordable. And then I do these other extra things because people shouldn't have to go all over the place to get what they need.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
And
like
we draw labs on site too, which,
right.
that's a pain, especially in Flagler County. Apparently, the first available fasting blood level at Quest is like 4 weeks away.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
I'm like, that's worth $60 a month right there.
Yeah, 100%. $60 a month is really where you start for like an individual. That's what I pay. And
Yeah,
that's
so it's
pretty
$60 a month if you're up to age 51, 85 a
overcame.
month if you're 51 to
28.
64, and then if you're Medicare age, it's 110 a month. But if you own a business or work for a business that uses me for primary care, it's only $60 a month, regardless of age.
Boom. Fantastic. Yeah, more people need to know that. So if that's something you're interested, for sure we'll link the website and then
Yeah,
locations and things like that.
that'd
That'd
be
be great. All
awesome.
right, Doc, let me ask you this. If you, for the listeners, if they find themselves in a situation, with all this stuff that we were going on, mom, parents dying early, weight loss, marriage, all this stuff, business, like if people find themselves overwhelmed or something like that, what's one or two things that you would provide, in terms of your perspective, that you would give to them?
So so stress management, find something fun you like to do. So a lot of times, especially if you've been in the hamster wheel of life with kids and all the things for a long time, you don't even know what to do for fun.
Mm.
Find your hobbies, 4 or 5 different things you like to do and do them. Adequate rest, sunlight, grounding, and grounding is just going outside in the grass without your shoes on, like connecting with the
Yeah,
earth.
it's a beautiful thing.
And find a good community of people that are like-minded that love you, and it will change your life.
Yeah, Doc, I love it. Let's go. And that, just like that, we finished our first episode, you and I, Doc. So
I'm
thanks
excited.
so much for being here and being part. Give me one of these. All right, what else do we tell the people? We'll catch. I guess we'll catch you up soon. We'll share all the links and
Yeah,
stuff
so
and
I'm
stuff.
going next week to Ecuador, so I'll let
Oh,
you know
that's
when I
right.
get back.
Yes, when you come back, we definitely need to have an experience and we can talk about our mushroom trips. That'll be a fun one.
Woohoo!
All right, Doc. Don't forget, guys, it's all in your head. It's the
It
thoughts
is 100% your
all in your heads. And don't forget, last thing, nothing changes until you do. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right. Yeah, Doc.
bye.
I like it. Stop recording.